Strongest animals, you won't guess number one. What does strength really mean in the wild? Is it the brute force to topple a tree, the bite that can shatter bone, or the tiny body that lifts the weight of a car if you scaled it to human size? Today we rank power 4 ways: absolute strength, relative to body strength, specialized strike power, and ecological dominance. We'll use real measurements wherever science has them. And yes, our number one is a jaw-dropper. Stick around to the end to see a creature that can outlift almost anything on Earth, pound for pound. If you love no BS animal science with cinematic storytelling, subscribe and join the Animal Ranking Hub family. New ranked lists every week. Number 10, gorilla. Upper body power plus bite. When most people imagine raw, untamed strength in the animal kingdom, the gorilla almost always makes the list. Towering silverbacks can weigh up to 400 pounds, yet what sets them apart is not just their size, but how their entire anatomy is engineered for explosive power. Unlike humans, gorillas spend much of their lives climbing, tearing through dense vegetation, and defending their families from rivals. Their forelimbs are long, heavily muscled, and loaded with dense bone. A single flex of their arm can snap branches that would take a human several hacks with a machete. Researchers estimate that an adult silverback may be up to 4 to 9 times stronger than a well-trained human male, though exact figures are hard to pin down since very few scientists are brave or reckless enough to conduct direct strength contests. What we do know comes from biomechanics and field observations. Gorillas can lift and throw hundreds of kilograms, and their bite registers at an impressive 1,200 to 300 psi, more than enough to crack tough bamboo shoots or fibrous plant stalks that humans couldn't chew through at all. But strength for a gorilla isn't about showmanship, it's survival. A dominant silverback uses his power to protect his troop from leopards, fend off rival males, and maintain control over his family group. Watching 2 males square off is like witnessing a natural heavyweight championship, chest beating, roaring, and short bursts of terrifying violence. Yet most confrontations end before actual bloodshed, because each male knows exactly how dangerous the other is. In a way, the gorilla embodies a different kind of power, the power of restraint. Despite being capable of immense destruction, they are usually peaceful, gentle giants who prefer eating leaves, playing, and grooming one another. Their strength is both a weapon and a responsibility, reminding us that in nature, true dominance isn't just about force, it's about knowing when to use it. Number 9, giant constrictors, boa and python. If gorillas embody brute muscle in the primate world, giant constrictors showcase strength in a completely different, almost alien form. Snakes like the reticulated python or the green anaconda don't rely on limbs or massive jaws. Instead, their entire body is a living coil of muscle designed to wrap around prey and apply a slow, merciless squeeze. For decades, popular culture has painted constrictors as suffocating their victims. But modern science has corrected that myth. They actually kill by inducing circulatory arrest. When a boa or python strikes, it hooks its teeth into the prey and instantly loops its coils around the body. With each exhalation of the victim, the snake tightens further, preventing blood from returning to the heart. Within moments, blood pressure collapses, organs shut down, and the prey goes still. It's not a dramatic Hollywood choke, it's clinical, efficient biology at work. Laboratory studies on boas and Burmese pythons have measured the force of their squeeze. While the pressure per square inch may not sound extreme, sometimes less than that of a firm human handshake, it's applied over massive surface areas with incredible endurance. A large python can maintain a stranglehold for minutes without tiring, and the uniform compression across the chest cavity means there's simply no escape. In fact, some reticulated pythons have been documented swallowing animals as large as adult deer, proving that strength isn't always about crushing bones, it's about control. What makes constrictors truly fearsome is the combination of stealth and strength. They can lie in wait for hours, perfectly camouflaged in leaf litter or murky river water, before striking with explosive speed. Once the coils are in place, even animals far larger in mass, like wild pigs, capybaras, or caimans, are helpless. To witness this process in the wild is unsettling, because it highlights nature's ability to weaponize patience and pressure into one of the most effective killing strategies on Earth. The giant constrictor reminds us, power doesn't always need speed or size. Sometimes, the strongest force in nature is the one that simply refuses to let go. Number 8. Hippopotamus, bite force king of herbivores. When people think of dangerous African animals, lions and crocodiles usually top the list. Yet the creature responsible for more human deaths than either predator is the hippopotamus, a massive herbivore with a temper as oversized as its body. On land, they may look like comical barrel-shaped grazers. But in the water, the hippo transforms into a territorial tank, using its bulk and jaw power to dominate one of the world's most competitive river systems. A hippo's mouth opens nearly 150 degrees, revealing tusk-like canines that can grow over half a meter long. These teeth aren't just for grazing. They are weapons of intimidation and destruction. Measurements estimate a hippo's bite at 1,800 to 2,000 psi, rivaling or even exceeding that of lions and tigers. Imagine a jaw strong enough to split a wooden canoe or crush a crocodile's skull. That's the reality of a hippo's bite. Despite their vegetarian diet, hippos are not gentle giants. Males battle violently for territory, slamming into each other with their massive heads and delivering bone-crunching bites. In the wild, clashes can leave deep gashes, missing ears, or even fatalities. For humans, the danger lies in underestimating them. A hippo can outrun a person on land for short bursts, charging at speeds up to 30 kilometers per hour, 19 miles per hour. And in water, they are surprisingly agile, pushing off riverbeds with explosive force. What makes hippos uniquely terrifying is the contrast between their appearance and their behavior. Tourists often see them lazing in the water, yawning as if sleepy. But that wide yawn is not a sign of relaxation. It's a threat display, warning rivals and intruders to stay away. Crocodiles, which themselves are apex predators, usually give hippos a wide berth, knowing that one wrong move can end in disaster. The hippo teaches us that strength isn't always linked to carnivory. Even a plant eater, when equipped with bone-breaking jaws, size, and aggression, can become one of the deadliest forces in its ecosystem. In short, never mistake herbivore for harmless. Number 7. Great white shark, predatory bite force and speed. Few creatures inspire as much awe and fear as the great white shark. Known as the ocean's ultimate predator, this giant fish combines speed, stealth, and one of the most powerful bites in the marine world. At lengths of up to 6 meters, 20 feet, and weighing over 2,000 kilograms, 4,400 pounds, a great white is essentially a living torpedo armed with serrated knives for teeth. But what really cements its place on this list, its bite force. Computer models and biomechanical reconstructions estimate that a large great white can deliver a bite of up to 18,000 newtons of force. That's strong enough to puncture thick whale blubber or snap through sea turtle shells like crackers. While crocodiles may surpass them in absolute measured force, the shark's bite is optimized for maximum damage. Razor-edged teeth arranged in multiple rows, designed not just to cut, but to saw through flesh with every violent shake of the head. Beyond sheer power, great whites have perfected the art of the ambush. Using counter-shaded camouflage, they lurk in the dark depths below, then rocket upward at speeds approaching 40 kilometers per hour, 25 miles per hour. The impact alone can stun a seal before the jaws even close. Many attacks are so sudden that prey have no chance to react. One moment they're swimming peacefully, the next, they're airborne in the predator's jaws. What makes the shark's strength fascinating is how it's tailored to its role in the ecosystem. Unlike constrictors or hippos, it doesn't need prolonged battles. Its strength lies in a single, devastating strike. That strike not only feeds the shark, but also shapes the behavior of entire marine communities. Seals alter migration routes, fish schools stay closer to shore, and even other predators avoid waters patrolled by a great white. In the end, the great white isn't just strong because of muscle, it's strong because of precision engineering by evolution. Every tooth, every jaw hinge, every muscle fiber is tuned for one thing: killing efficiently. And that lethal efficiency is what secures its spot among the strongest animals on Earth. Number 6, saltwater crocodile, the measured bite champion. When it comes to raw, measurable force, no living animal beats the saltwater crocodile. Nicknamed the Salty, this reptile is the heavyweight king of bite power, with direct scientific tests confirming its place at the very top. Unlike sharks, where bite strength must be modeled, Crocodiles have been brave, or perhaps unlucky, enough to chomp down on force meters wielded by researchers. The results are jaw-dropping. A large saltwater crocodile produced a bite of 16,414 newtons, equivalent to 3,700 psi, the highest bite force ever recorded in a living species. To put that into perspective, that's like having the weight of a small truck concentrated at the tip of your finger. Their jaw muscles are short, stocky, and designed solely for one purpose: clamping shut with unstoppable pressure. Interestingly, while they can close their mouths with devastating power, their muscles for opening are so weak that a person can hold a crocodile's jaws shut with duct tape or even bare hands. It's the ultimate example of evolutionary specialization. One motion, perfected. Saltwater crocodiles are also titans of size. Males often exceed 6 meters, 20 feet, and weigh over 1,000 kilograms, 2,200 pounds, making them the largest living reptile on Earth. With this bulk comes territorial dominance. Found across northern Australia, Southeast Asia, and the Indo-Pacific, they patrol both freshwater rivers and salty coastlines, striking fear into any creature that ventures too close to the water's edge. Unlike sharks, which rely on speed and surprise, crocodiles embody patience and ambush. They lie submerged, eyes and nostrils just above the surface, waiting for hours if needed. Then, with explosive speed, they launch out of the water, seize prey, and drag it into a death roll, a spinning maneuver that tears flesh and disorients victims. Cattle, wild boar, water buffalo, even unsuspecting humans have all fallen victim to this primeval hunter. The saltwater crocodile is living proof that sometimes strength is about simplicity. No tricks, no finesse, just a pair of jaws honed over 200 million years, clamping down with prehistoric certainty. When those jaws snap shut, there is no escape. Number 5. Mantis shrimp, the cavitation punch master. If the saltwater crocodile wins on bite force, the mantis shrimp wins on sheer impact. At first glance, this tiny marine crustacean, rarely more than 15 centimeters long, looks like an odd mix of shrimp and lobster. But hiding within its small frame are raptorial appendages that can deliver one of the fastest and most powerful strikes in the animal kingdom. The mantis shrimp comes in 2 main weapon classes: spearers, which jab prey with spiny limbs, and smashers, which wield hardened clubs. It's the smashers that have earned legendary status. Their club-like limbs accelerate at nearly 23 meters per second, comparable to the speed of a bullet leaving a handgun. The strike generates forces measured at up to 1,500 newtons, enough to crack snail shells, shatter aquarium glass, and even injure careless divers. But the real marvel isn't just the raw strike, it's the physics behind it. The punch is so fast that it briefly lowers the pressure in the surrounding water, creating cavitation bubbles. When these bubbles collapse, they unleash secondary shockwaves, producing heat and light in microscopic flashes known as sonoluminescence. This means the mantis shrimp effectively hits its prey twice, once with its club and again with an imploding bubble. For the unfortunate victim, the result is instant destruction. What makes this animal's strength so extraordinary is its engineering at the microscopic level. Studies using high-speed cameras and CT scans have revealed that the mantis shrimp's club is reinforced with a complex structure of mineralized chitin fibers, arranged in a helical pattern, like a natural carbon fiber composite. This design prevents the limb from shattering even after thousands of high-velocity strikes. Engineers and materials scientists are actively studying mantis shrimp clubs for inspiration in building stronger armor and aerospace materials. Yet, despite being small, mantis shrimp are far from defenseless curiosities. In their reef ecosystems, they are apex predators, capable of killing crabs, clams, and even fish much larger than themselves. Their power is so infamous that aquarists nickname them thumb splitters, a warning to anyone foolish enough to handle one. The mantis shrimp is a reminder that strength isn't about size, it's about speed, physics, and precision. Pound for pound, no boxer, no martial artist, and no heavyweight champion could ever match the devastating punch of this tiny ocean gladiator. Number 4. Orca, killer whale, apex predator with team power. If the mantis shrimp shows us what strength looks like in miniature, the orca, or killer whale, demonstrates what happens when raw power is combined with intelligence and teamwork. These sleek black and white giants are among the most feared predators in the ocean, not because of sheer bite pressure alone, but because of their ability to coordinate, strategize, and dominate entire ecosystems. Adult male orcas can grow up to 9 meters, 30 feet long, and weigh over 6 tons, with muscular tails capable of generating explosive bursts of speed. A single tail strike can stun fish or even knock a seal clean off an ice floe. But unlike sharks or crocodiles, which rely heavily on solitary ambush tactics, orcas operate like wolf packs of the sea. They use sophisticated hunting strategies, often unique to each pod and passed down through generations, proof of cultural learning in animals. One of their most astonishing feats is their ability to take on other apex predators. In recent years, documented encounters have shown orcas preying on great white sharks, flipping them upside down to induce tonic immobility before surgically removing their nutrient-rich livers. In some cases, a single orca has accomplished this feat alone, cementing its reputation as a predator capable of challenging even the most feared hunters of the deep. But orcas are not just brutal killers. They are masters of versatility. Some pods hunt schools of fish by herding them into tight balls. Others specialize in raiding ice edges for seals. Still others ambush large whales, exhausting them over hours. This adaptability highlights a deeper form of strength: ecological dominance. Orcas shape the behavior of prey species across vast regions, forcing seals, fish, and even sharks to alter where they live and how they move. Their intelligence also makes them uniquely relatable to humans. With complex vocalizations, tight family bonds, and evidence of teaching and play, orcas remind us that strength is not only measured in muscle or bone, it can come from cooperation, strategy, and brainpower. In the hierarchy of nature's strongest, the killer whale earns its place not just by what it can kill, but by the way it rewrites the rules of the ocean wherever it roams. Number 3. African elephant, absolute land powerhouse. When we think of the word strength, few animals capture the imagination like the African elephant, the largest land animal alive today. Towering up to 4 meters tall and weighing over 6 tons, these gentle giants carry a level of absolute muscle power that reshapes entire landscapes. Every movement of an elephant is a reminder that strength, when scaled up to this level, is not just impressive, it's transformative. Perhaps the most remarkable symbol of elephant strength is the trunk, packed with more than 40,000 muscle fascicles, compared to fewer than 700 in the entire human body. The trunk is both delicate and immensely powerful. Elephants can use it to pluck a single blade of grass or rip down a tree. In controlled studies, elephants have been shown to lift loads of around 270 kilograms, 600 pounds, with their trunks alone. Add in their full body power, and they can topple massive acacia trees, clear paths through dense forests, or dig for water in dry riverbeds. Strength for elephants isn't about predation, but about engineering survival. Their power transforms ecosystems. By knocking down trees, they open up grasslands that benefit grazing species like zebras and antelope. When they dig water holes, countless other animals, from birds to predators, benefit from the wells they leave behind. In this way, elephants act as ecosystem engineers, shaping entire environments through their might. Despite their gentle reputation, elephants can unleash terrifying power when threatened. A charging bull elephant can reach speeds of up to 25 kilometers per hour, 15 miles per hour. And with tusks weighing over 100 pounds each, their momentum is unstoppable. Even apex predators like lions think twice before targeting elephants, usually preying only on calves when desperate. Adult elephants, especially in groups, are virtually untouchable. Yet perhaps the greatest lesson from the elephant is restraint. With all their size and force, they spend most of their lives peacefully grazing, caring for calves, and moving as family units. Their strength is undeniable, but it is often expressed in quiet, constructive ways, building, shaping, and nurturing life around them. The African elephant reminds us that true strength doesn't always roar or kill. It can also build, sustain, and protect. And in that sense, they may be the most powerful land force nature has ever produced. Number 2, blue whale, the ocean's absolute power. If the African elephant is the undisputed powerhouse of the land, then the blue whale is its oceanic counterpart, a living colossus that dwarfs every creature that has ever existed on Earth. At lengths of 30 meters, 100 feet, and weights surpassing 180 metric tons, the blue whale isn't just big. It is the heaviest, most massive animal in Earth's history. outweighing even the largest dinosaurs. And with that size comes a staggering level of absolute strength. Imagine the force required to propel a body heavier than 25 elephants through the water at speeds exceeding 30 kilometers per hour, 20 miles per hour. Every tail stroke, driven by a tail fluke as wide as a small airplane's wingspan, unleashes titanic thrust. Biomechanical studies suggest that during lunges to feed, blue whales can generate tens of thousands of newtons of force, accelerating their massive bodies with surprising agility. To witness one breach, the entire whale launching out of the ocean and crashing back down, is to see gravity itself momentarily defied by pure muscular power. Yet, for all their might, blue whales are filter feeders, consuming some of the ocean's smallest creatures, krill. In a single day, a blue whale can consume up to 4 tons of krill, engulfing entire swarms with each lunge. This feeding method requires immense coordination of power. The whale opens its mouth wide, its throat pleats expanding like an accordion, then contracts with crushing force to expel water and trap krill. Its strength applied not as violence, but as efficiency. A balance of muscle and mechanics that sustains the largest life form on Earth with the tiniest prey. Their dominance is not predatory, but ecological. A single whale's presence influences the health of entire marine systems. Through what scientists call the whale pump, blue whales recycle nutrients by feeding deep and releasing waste near the surface, fertilizing phytoplankton that sustain ocean food chains. Their size, their power, and their ecological role make them keystone giants, vital to the stability of the seas. The blue whale is proof that strength doesn't always roar with aggression. Sometimes, it moves silently beneath the waves, carrying the weight of the world's oceans on its back. In sheer absolute power, no creature, past or present, has ever come close. Number 1. Horned dung beetle, pound-for-pound strength king. After journeying through gorillas, crocodiles, sharks, and whales, it may seem absurd that the crown of Earth's strongest animal belongs to a beetle small enough to sit on your fingertip. Yet, science leaves no room for doubt. The horned dung beetle, Onthophagus taurus, is the undisputed champion of relative strength. In controlled experiments, researchers documented one individual pulling an astonishing 1,141 times its own body weight. To put that in human terms, imagine a 150-pound person dragging 6 fully loaded double-decker buses. That is strength on a scale beyond our comprehension. Why dung? For these beetles, strength is not about predation. It's about survival and reproduction. Males carve out balls of dung and roll them away to bury underground, both as food storage and as a safe place for their offspring. But rolling isn't just about transportation. It's also a competition. Rival males often battle, locking horns and wrestling for dominance over the prized dung ball. In these contests, sheer muscle relative to size determines who wins the right to mate. The beetle's extreme strength, therefore, is a product of sexual selection, honed over millions of years. What makes this achievement even more impressive is how efficient the beetle's design is. Its legs are short, but incredibly powerful levers, and its exoskeleton provides both anchor points for muscle and armor against attacks. Unlike elephants or whales, which spread their strength across enormous mass, the dung beetle concentrates its energy into a compact frame, turning every gram of its body into pure mechanical advantage. The shock isn't just in the numbers, but in the lesson. Strength is often assumed to belong to the biggest, the heaviest, or the most fearsome predators. Yet nature reminds us that power is relative. By scaling for body weight, the humble dung beetle outlifts every giant we've seen before. It is a quiet titan, proving that true dominance isn't about size, it's about efficiency, persistence, and evolutionary purpose. So yes, number 1 may surprise you. A creature small enough to crush underfoot is, in fact, the mightiest powerhouse the planet has ever produced. And in that revelation lies the beauty of the wild. Strength comes in many forms, and sometimes the smallest warriors carry the greatest weight of all. Strength takes many forms: a measured bite, a precise strike, a silent squeeze, or the quiet physics of a tail fluke the size of a car. Which metric should rule the wild? Absolute, relative, or strategic? Tell us your top 3 below, and what list you want next. Top 10 most indestructible animals, or top 10 smartest hunters. If you enjoyed science-backed rankings with cinematic flair, smash, subscribe to Animal Ranking Hub, and share this with a friend who still thinks size is everything.